Parshas Shoftim, Tavshin Ayin Tes, and here we are. We're back at Bikur Cholim of Lakewood. Of course, we had to come back from Eretz Yisrael, but this year I thought for sure everybody was coming to greet us, and everybody's going to come to see us there. But it was not to be, and we're back. And of course, once we're back, we're very happy to be here at our hosts, Bikur Cholim of Lakewood. And we thank them once again. We'll begin now another year of our shiurim, and a lot of credit and a lot of thanks goes to the staff and the people here at Bikur Cholim who host us each and every week as we march now toward our shiur number 500 on Thursday night, which will Amir Hashem be sometime right after Sukkot. And we look forward to celebrating that together with everybody. And the pasuk tells us in our parsha, a very famous pasuk, Tomim tihiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. The pshat translation, Tomim, to be complete, that one should be complete with Hashem. And the Mefarshim have a lot of different explanations and perushim on this pasuk, and we've actually spoken about this pasuk from really various angles over the past couple of years. And of course we know there's the popular explanation brought down in the Mefarshim on the Chumash here that a person should not be busy. What does it mean? Tomim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. That a person should not be busy trying to figure out and ask human beings about what the future holds and what time will bring. You're not supposed to be running around to quote people that can tell you what's going on in your life and what's going to be in your life. And today we know that's a big challenge because many people are very tempted for some reason to go to people who certainly have it all figured out and can tell them all about themselves and what's going to be in the future. The Torah tells us, Tomim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha, that a person should lead their life in what way? Where you're mikabel, whatever Hashem has allotted to you, whatever Hashem sends your way, that's what's best for you. And the translation of the pasuk in that case would be that Tomim tiyeh, if you are accepting, if you are complete, if you're accepting with what Hashem is giving you, then im Hashem Elokecha, then Hashem will be with you. But if you run around trying to figure out a way around what Hashem is sending your way, that you go to this and that person that's going to make it better and is going to tell you what's going to be in your life, then you're missing out on a very important thing. You're missing out the im Hashem Elokecha. You miss out the most important thing, what we all want, that Hashem should be with us. And that's one angle that we spoke about a couple of years ago. And now the Nesivos Shalom also speaks at great length about another way of understanding this pasuk. And we'd like to touch a little bit on this different explanation in this pasuk. And the Nesivos Shalom tells us that in every mitzvah that a person does, in every mitzvah that we're being mekayim, you know how you should be mekayim the mitzvah? Be mekayim the mitzvah b'tmimus. And I'm not talking about the tmimus, the tomim that we spoke about like 2 years ago, where when you do a mitzvah, make sure to do it completely. Don't stop in the middle. Do the whole thing. We're not talking about that tonight. When you be mekayim a mitzvah b'tmimus, says the Nesivos Shalom, it means be mekayim the mitzvah simply because Hashem said so. Hashem said to be mekayim, not because of all the other reasons and emotions and feelings that you may have about the mitzvah. Chazal tell us, the Gemara, we're coming up, Amir Hashem, in a couple of weeks, to the Yom Tov of Rosh Hashanah. Chazal tell us in the Gemara, Masechta Rosh Hashanah, Daf Tezayin Amar Aleph. The Gemara asks a question, Lomo Toikin. Why do we blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah? And Gemara gives us an answer. You know why? Because Rachmana Omar Tiku. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to blow the shofar. And that's an extremely important lesson, especially in Tkiyah Shofar. You know, you open the machzor and you can have a zohar and you have all these explanations and reasons and feelings and emotions and why and how we should blow the shofar, but we lose sight. There are so many holy kavanas by Tkiyah Shofar, but the Gemara is telling us, don't lose sight when it comes to Tkiyah Shofar of why we do the mitzvah. You know why we do the mitzvah? We do it because Hashem said to do the mitzvah. To blow shofar. Tiku b'chayre shofar. We blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah. And we have to have that in mind. And it's a tremendous thing to have that in mind. When you have Tkiyah Shofar, you're going to hear the shofar, the Baltakeh is going to make the bracha. You know why I'm blowing shofar? Not for any of the other reasons. I'm listening to shofar because HaKadosh Baruch Hu said so. And that is called doing a mitzvah b'tmimus. Tamim tiyeh im Hashem alekecha. That even if you don't know the reasons, and you don't know all the kavanas, and you don't know all the fancy translations and the fancy things that go along with the mitzvah, do it with the emunah that I'm doing it because it is the Ratzon Hashem. And another thing we need to remember, it says in Nesivos Shalom, is that as much as we think we know the reason for a mitzvah, we have to know that us human beings really, whatever reasons we think we know, we're just beginning to touch upon the actual reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave the mitzvah. We really do not even begin to understand the reasons for the commandments of Hashem. And Chazal only let us know some parts of what the human mind could comprehend. So Chazal told us that there are certain reasons and things why we do a mitzvah. But we need to understand along with that we have no idea. As human beings, we have no idea really why HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us every mitzvah. There's so much about every mitzvah that we really don't understand. And think for a moment, think about a mitzvah like Shabbos. You have a mitzvah like Shabbos, and the mitzvah of Shabbos in the Torah, there are so many reasons that are given why we keep Shabbos. For instance, Hashem created the world for 6 days, right? We ask anyone, why do you keep Shabbos? Because Hashem created the world for 6 days, and Vayonach, Vayom Hashvi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kaviyachol, rested on the seventh day. So now we have a reason. We think we keep Shabbos because Hashem rested on the seventh day, right? Al Kain Beirach Hashem Es Yom HaShabbos Vayekadeshehu. That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu blessed the Shabbos, the seventh day, and now it's holy, so we can come up with many, many different reasons. And with all of that, when we were commanded the actual mitzvah of Shabbos in Morah, we know that there were certain mitzvahs that were given in Morah, right? The Torah tells us. And the Pasuk says over there, by mitzvah Shabbos that's given in Morah, Shom Sam Loi Chayk. Right? The Shom Yiso, the Pasuk ends off, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when He gave us the mitzvah, and what type of mitzvah does it say? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a chayk. And the Mechilta tells us, there in Parshas B'Shalach, on that pasuk, you know something? Shabbos, the mitzvah of Shabbos is called a chayk. 1 second. I just rattled you off a few reasons that we could read from the Torah, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world for 6 days. Vayonach vayom hashvi, al kain beirach Hashem es yom haShabbos vayikadshehu. What's going on over here? Why does the Mechilta tell us? Why is it that the mitzvah of Shabbos is a chayk? The lesson, says the Nesivos Shalom, is that even after all the reasons, we're being told over here that the mitzvahs of Hashem are still a chayk. The human being still doesn't fully or even partially comprehend and understand the mitzvahs of Hashem. And Nesivos Shalom tells us, Gemara Masechta Shabbos, Daf Yud Amud Beis, tells us, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu LeMoshe. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Matana Toiva Yesh Li Beveis Genozai. I have this beautiful, beautiful gift for you in my storehouse. And you know what the name of this gift is? The Shabbos Shema. The name of this gift is Shabbos. But the matana is where? Says in Nesivos Shalom, Beveis Kenozai. That Shabbos is still considered a secret. It's still hidden with all the reasons that we can come up with. It's holy, Hashem rested, everything. But no, it's still Beveis Kenozai. It's hidden. It's a chayk. The mitzvah of Shabbos is still a chayk. And the Nesivos Shalom gives a suggestion, and he says all the reasons that are given in the Torah, and all the reasons that are given to us about Shabbos are really about Yom HaShvi'i. And there's two aspects of Shabbos. There's Yom HaShvi'i, and there's Shabbos Kodesh. So Yom HaShvi'i, we have all those reasons. But the Shabbos is beyond our comprehension. The Shabbos is beyond our minds. And how the world and all its brachos stem from Shabbos. We know that any bracha that a person receives during the week, any gift that's given to a person, any blessing that's given to a person, starts with Shabbos Kodesh. It all emanates and revolves around the Shabbos. And the Rashba in its Shuvas and Chelik Aleph tells us that any reason that the Torah gives us, reason, Al-Kain Beirach Hashem, any reason the Torah gives us is just a small window into the many hidden reasons that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has for every mitzvah. And that is our job, says in Nesivos Shalom, to learn from this, to learn from Shabbos, to learn from all the other mitzvahs, to learn from the Gemara, the Pasuk in our Parsha, Tamim Tiyeh im Hashem Alekecha. That we should be Mekayim the mitzvahs with the understanding that we really do not understand. We really don't know why. With everything that's written in your Machzor and your Sforim and everything that everybody tells you, don't miss the boat when it comes to doing a mitzvah. I'm doing the mitzvah Tamim Tiyeh im Hashem Alekecha. Hashem, you told me to do this mitzvah. You told me about the Kiyah Shofar. You told me to fast on Yom Kippur coming up. You told me to build a sukkah. That's the only reason I'm doing it. That is the main reason. Tamim Tiyeh im Hashem Alekecha. Because that is what Hashem wants. And sometimes we can lose sight. All the pirushim and the things that are written in the Kavanas that might be very warm and very uplifting and very out there and Kabbalistic and everything. And it's all nice and it's nice to add on. It's the icing on the cake. But the ikr thing that we have to know is to follow HaKadosh Baruch Hu with this completeness. I'm not asking any questions. I don't need to know any reasons. Tamim Tiyeh im Hashem Alekecha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you told me to do this. You told me to blow shofar, and that's why I'm doing it. And now I can read everything else. And it's a very new idea to add to the other things that we spoke about in other years about Tamim Tiyeh Hashem Alekecha. This idea that I do things and I do mitzvahs for one reason, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu told me to do so.